All right, well, welcome everyone to the webinar for this afternoon. What I'd like to do is just go over some of the features of PRiSM for iPad. This webinar will be recorded and posted on our website, so if you have any questions, don't hesitate. Everything will be recorded, just as long as you know and you give us your permission. We would appreciate it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go over the iPad app itself briefly to show you what the front end looks like. And then I'm going to go in the back end a little bit to show you how the information is ported onto the iPad. And also I'm going to show you the web version of the iPad. So just to explain overall the functionality of the app, the app itself is an app that gets downloaded from the App Store. Amongst the first time you log in, based on your username and password that's assigned to you as part of your sign-up process, the first time you log in, you'll be assigned a username and password, which will then give you access to your own content. So just by putting in your username and password after you download the app from the App Store, you'll automatically get the content be downloaded to the app, and obviously it's specific to the company that you represent. If you're representing multiple companies, then you'll have multiple logins. So for example, I'm going to just change the login here just to illustrate that. So this would be a brand new rep that just downloaded the app, puts in the information, and just click on login. The app will go to our web cloud server and just download all the information. So only the first time you'll see this. Once that's done, now you're logged in. So now right now I'm logged in as a demo company called Garden Angel, and I'll be able to see all my customers, all my products. If I sign out, I can now see that I have 2 logins. So each login will be remembered so that a rep that has multiple lines will be able to use the same iPad. So let me go into this one first of all and just give you a brief overview. So the way that the app is actually constructed is, as I said, the app itself is local to the iPad, so you don't have to have internet other than when you actually transfer information back and forth. So if you're doing the first thing, if you're sending orders, if you're updating your information, obviously you need internet. But any other time when you're working with the app, you don't need internet. Everything is local to the app. So logging in will give you access, as I said, to the different companies that you represent. You'll see your customers. There's many different ways to find customers by city, province, postal code, telephone number. Very, very easy to filter. So for example, if today you're working in Toronto, you can just put a part of the city and do a search, and you'll see all your Toronto customers. So for the rep that's on the road, it's an easy way to do an overview of the customer that he has in a specific region. You can do it even as a part of the postal code, for example, and you know the customers, and then you can plan your route accordingly. If it's a new customer, you can just click on New Customer and enter the information. The only information that's absolutely required is a name and telephone number. You can enter everything if you want, but the name and telephone number is all that's really required. So once you put in the information, you save it and you can do a new order for that customer. So let's pick a customer. So once I have my list here, all I have to do is select my customer. As soon as I select my customer, I have 4 ways to add items to the order. So the first one is going to be by products. By clicking on products, I'll see a list of all the products that I have. And I'm also able here to do a search by description, by category, by price, by previously bought. And I'll get back to the previously bought. That's if the customer has bought those items before, they're able to see them on here. So we'll do 2 orders for the same customers, and you'll see what I mean by that. So in order to, obviously I selected previously bought, and this is a new customer, so it won't be able to find anything. All I have to do to add items to the order is just click on one of the items, and then it'll open. So before I do that, if I need to actually find the product, I can just do a search, again, by description, by category. So let's just do a search, for example. If I'm looking for a diffuser, I do a search, and right away I find all my diffusers. I see the one I like. I just click on it. So now I'm ready to place the order. Here it's going to show me a few things before I actually click on Add to Order. Number 1, it defaulted to a quantity of 3. That's because there is a setting that allows you to define a minimum quantity of all items. And if you need to just enter more items, you can click on the plus, and what it'll do, it'll actually just increment the order by the factor of the quantity from the based on the minimum order quantity. I can also just delete it and enter the quantity that I want. There is a setting that would prevent me to enter 11 if they were sold by cases. So I could actually force the user to only order by case multiple, or I can allow them to order anything they want. So I've put 11 on here. I can add a comment here, for example, no yellow. Here this is sort of an assortment. This comment will actually follow this item along. It will be indented on the order to show the specific, so this is an item-specific comment. We also have the option at the end of the order to put an order-specific comment. Here I can also give a sample or a credit of this item to the customer. And basically what that will do is that I'll allow it to just show on the order. I can change the price. The price is actually, in this case here, it's showing price level 1, which is, it respects 20 price levels, just like Business Vision, and will automatically bring in the price level for the customer. I have a setting, again, that allows me to lock the price or lock the discount. This is what we call a manufacturer level setting, meaning that it would be controlled by the head office. If the rep is allowed to change prices, then they would be able to see those discounts and they would be able to change the price in the price level box. But if the rep is not allowed, then those boxes would be locked. And then finally, the other thing that I just want to show here before I go on is that there's a button here that says wish list. So what I've done here, this item, let's say the customer wasn't positive whether he wanted to buy it or not. So by clicking on wish list, it actually puts it on the order. But there's going to be an indicator on the order to show me that the item is actually just on a wish list. So let's just another couple items here, and then we'll complete this order. So I can do a search on something else if I needed to, but I'm not going to bother. I can also go to categories. So categories is basically a grouping of items. So we have the items that are just listed based on all the items that would be imported from the accounting package. Category is, we have multi-levels of categories. There is no limit to the number of categories that you can create. And we have a category management tool that comes as part of the desktop application that allows you to manage that. So for example, here I have 2 categories. If I go into aromatherapy, now I have 3 subcategories. I'm going to click on the diffuser, and I'm back to the same as I was a minute ago on my diffusers here. So I can also add items by finding them in categories. The other thing we can do when we're in categories, we can add all the items. So this would just be a quick way to add an assortment of items. So we can use that for pre-packs or for Christmas specials or whatever. So far I have 2 items on my order. I can just click on review. And one thing I just want to point out here, this little plus and minus, is because I had put in this item as a wish list item. So it's showing with the plus or minus, so that if I decide that I don't want it, I just hit the minus and it's gone. Or I hit the plus and it becomes a regular item from the order. So let me go back to my order. I'm going to continue. So I've reviewed 2 ways to add items, either by products or by categories. The other way that's very popular is by catalogs. So by having the ability to show catalogs, these are actually real catalogs. So a lot of companies on the iPad are showing that they give you the ability to have catalogs on the iPad, but in most cases they're not real catalogs. They're just collections of pictures that are presented as a catalog. In our case, we focus very hard on working with the physical, actual catalogs from the customer. All we need is a PDF file, and we have the tool to convert to PDF and do what we call digitization of that file. What I mean by that is this is our actual paper catalog that was scanned in. If I click somewhere, I can actually see that there is hotspots or tags that have been added to my page. And what that allows me to do is now if I want to order something, I just have to touch it. Obviously, it's an iPad, so it would be my finger, not my mouse, but I can't illustrate that. Same idea. As soon as I touch something, it gives me the ability to add it to the order. I can also flip the iPad 90 degrees, and then I would have a full page. I think you can do that somehow on the emulator, but I never can remember how. Anyway, so basically if I flip the iPad, this is a 2-page up. So I have a page to the left and a page to the right. If I flip the iPad, the page would cover the whole page and it would actually look just like a real book. So the idea here is really to give the rep the tool that he's used to working with. In typical reps in the distribution industry or in many industries, they walk around carrying paper catalogs. What they would be able to do here is they would be able to have all their paper catalogs digitized and put on an iPad. There is no limit to the number of catalogs that you can have, as many as you want, and catalogs don't have to be catalogs. What that means is that any PDF can actually be brought into the iPad. We have customers that will bring in instruction manuals, display ideas, picture of the kids, whatever you want. Basically, the idea is whatever catalog or whatever file that you want to bring to the iPad, we give you a very simple tool to digitize and put it on. And I'm going to touch on that very briefly if we have time. So the idea here is we would just go around, flip the pages, pick the catalog that we want, touch on the product, add it to the order, and just makes the process very easy. And the last way to add items to an order, which I cannot review here, is using a barcode scanner. So we support any type of Bluetooth barcode scanner, and the barcode scanner would allow you to just scan the product, and as long as the barcode scanner obviously is paired to the iPad, as soon as you scan the product would pop up on the page just like if you had selected it from your finger, and it would give you the ability to add it to the order. There is also, in the settings, there is what we call a fast mode of barcode scanning, and that would be even faster, where it would allow you to not only scan the order, but just by scanning it, it would add it to the order. So you can just go through, and it would scan and automatically add the minimum suggested quantity onto the order. So if you had the display of cards, for example, and the customer just wanted to buy the whole display, and there is 3 of everything, you would just go around and just scan, and very quickly populate all the items onto the order. That's the scanning is actually very popular in two special cases. Number one is when the customer is at a trade show. Obviously, you don't necessarily need to try to find the items on the iPad if they're sitting in front of you in a display area at a trade show. So what you would do there is you would just scan the item directly off the shelves, and then when you're done scanning the items, if you have new items or items that are not displayed on the shelves, then you would actually look at them on the iPad and either bring them in through the product screen or through the catalogs and add them onto the order. And similarly, it's popular for customers that have reps that go and do replenishment type of ordering. For example, if you're calling on Loblaws or if you're calling on Shoppers Drug Mart, typically what the rep would do is he would go right to the shelf where the products are displayed, and it's the rep's responsibility to make sure that the shelf meets the minimum requirement orders. So typically what they would do is they would go and scan the product directly on the shelf, and then it would pop up on the iPad, and they would put the quantity that they need to get the proper replenishment. And same idea, as soon as they finish the replenishment, if they want to show new lines or new product to the manager, then they would sit with them and have the tool on the iPad to show them the catalog. So it's very powerful, very versatile, and one of the things that reps really like is it makes them look good, and it's very, very simple to use. I'm just going to jump onto another company here just to show you the difference. So actually, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to continue with the order. Let me finish the US here. If I review my order, these are the items that I've added to the order so far, and all I have to do at this time is just click on complete. It'll give me the ability, just like any ordering system, to either put the order on hold, have a ship date when I want this order shipped. That's quite popular in the gift industry. I can have a cancel date if the order is not shipped by a certain date. The terms would automatically populate from the accounting package, but if not, then I can enter them here. Customer purchase order, written by, that's if we are at a trade show and this is not your customer. Notes are just additional information, and there is also here the comment that you can add specific to the order here. There's also a way to capture the signature that would actually appear on all the documents. The latest version, that's not on this iPad, but the latest version also has a picture taker. So you have the ability to just open the camera directly from the iPad and take a picture. That would be if the customer has something he wants to show you, or if you want to take a picture of their business card. So let me just confirm the order. So when I confirm the order, now I have 3 options: to print, to sync, or just click OK. If I don't have internet, I would just click OK, and the order would stay on my iPad. So let me do that here. And I'm just going to go back, and I'm just going to do one more order for this guy just to illustrate one last little thing here quickly. So same customer filters, and I'm just going to go back to Ontario Sound. So now that I do a new order for this guy, I can see there is some items that have a little red dot, and what that is that now the iPad is indicating to me that the customer has bought this item before. So now if I select this item, there's one more feature that I can use, which is the purchase history. So now I can see that on that date the customer bought so many, and this is the price. So this is very useful if you're going to a customer and you want to know, what did I buy before? I want to go ahead and reorder. I can also do a search here based on products that have been previously bought. And right away I can see what that customer specifically bought for me. And that would be a combination of all the orders. The order is sitting right here, and it's ready to actually be processed. From here I can email the order for anyone, or even easier, what I can do is just sync the order. So when I sync the order, what happens is this will actually send the order back to the server, and it'll automatically send an email to the rep to the customer, and to the office. And now this order is now sitting on our cloud computer where it can be brought into the local application that will then take it and upload it to the accounting package, Business Vision, ActPack, Simply Accounting, QuickBooks, or any other accounting package that we support. But there is also an ability to export the orders to Excel or CSV or XML files. Now that I've sent my order, it doesn't appear here. It'll appear as a sent order. And from here, next time I go to see that customer, I can also find by customer all the orders that I've done for this guy. And I can copy the order. So if I wanted to just repeat the order, I can do that very simply. Don't hesitate to stop me if you have any questions or if I'm going too fast. I know I have a tendency to do that. Or if I put you to sleep. Okay, so let me just go out and just jump into another company just so you see different. So now I'm logged in as a different company, so it'll actually change. I can change the color theme. I can change the logo. And the only thing I want to illustrate for that company is the catalogs. They have a large number of catalogs that they actually do. They've actually reduced it. They used to have about 20 here. But they do very long catalog with some of them with a lot of pages. And for them, that's a great tool to be able to just display their products. And the catalogs and everything that's done on the web is actually going to appear on the website. So I'm going to illustrate this next. So let me just jump out of this. I'm going to go into this. So the app is actually hosted on a cloud computer. Everything that you do on the app automatically creates a website. So this is a website that this customer here, North American, has given us the authorization to demonstrate. Their iPad, they have all these categories. They have all the catalogs. Everything is exactly the same. So what I was just looking at on the iPad right now is also on the website. The reason that I really like to point this out is that this website was created with absolutely no work. There is not a minute that actually needs to be done to create this website with all the catalogs, with all the products, with all the categories, because all the tools that we've developed to create the content to be sent to the iPad app is what's used to create the content. The content of what we send to the iPad app is actually hosted on a cloud computer. So by sending all this information to the cloud computer, this app is actually hosted on the same cloud computer. So all the data is common to both the iPad app and the website, which means that if you change a price in your accounting package and use the tools to send it to the iPad, automatically it'll be updated here. And the functionality is very similar. You'll be able to see all your products, all the categories. So here you've got a lot of categories. And then once you go into the categories, you go into the item. Same idea. You can just click on the item. And here you have the option to add it to cart. You can even increase the size of the picture. So this is a real good tool for somebody who doesn't have a web store. If somebody has a web store and they're using it already, then we don't really promote that. The big selling feature for us on this angle is the fact that they can create a website with no work. Anybody who's done a website can tell you that it's taken them anywhere from 6 months, 12 months, however long, and then the day after you've launched your website, the information is already obsolete. So unless you have a website that has an integration with your accounting package, you're going to have a hard time keeping it live. You're going to have a hard time keeping all the information up to date. So because we integrate with the accounting package, the data part of the application, like the prices, customers, and rep information, that all comes directly from the accounting package. So there is no maintenance there other than just doing a sync on a daily or on a weekly basis. As far as the imagery is concerned, like the catalogs and the products, I will demonstrate in a few minutes how that's done. It's very simple. The one thing that's really important to notice is that when I look at the catalogs on the website, is exactly like if I looked at them on the iPad. All that we created, like all the tags where we can add to order, it's all respected on the catalog as well. So I can use the same functionality that I have on the iPad, go to the catalog, just click on an item, same idea. I can add it to the order here, and I can review my cart. I can see the items that I have and check out. Very simple. And because this uses the same infrastructure as the iPad, the path of the order will be similar to the iPad, where I'll go from, as soon as I create an order, same idea, I'll go to the rep, it'll go to the customer, I'll go to the office, and then it'll be sitting on the same cloud computer so that when you bring in orders from the iPad or from the website, there is no difference. They follow the same path, they follow the same logic, so there is no need to have two different systems. Let me just illustrate a little bit how we bring in the information to the to the system. We have a very simple program that we call the catalog creator. So this is actually the same interface, the same customer that has the information. So I'm actually going to log in as him to show you what he would do and how we would bring in his information. So this is the catalog, what we call the catalog creator program. From here, you have the ability to import your customer files or your product files through an Excel file if you don't have an accounting package that's integrated. If your accounting package is integrated, then you don't even have to do that. There is a synchronization program directly on your desktop that would populate the information. To have products images, all you do is the same idea. You just go and create a bunch of images, zip them together, and you can upload them. What this does is that uploads everything to our cloud computer, and then the iPad talks to the cloud computer to get the information. So it's a two-step process. You upload it to the cloud, and the iPad synchronizes with the cloud. So to do a catalog, to do the hotspot, it's as simple as just going here, creating a new catalog, and then from here I can give the catalog any name I want and upload it based on a file, a bunch of images that would be sitting on our cloud computer, on our local computer. So the idea to create a catalog is first we give it a name, and then the next page would be once we create the name, you would just go ahead and add pages. The pages would just be JPEG images that are stored on your local computer. As soon as you've uploaded them, the catalog is available, and if you sync your iPad, the catalog would show up. I'm just going to delete that catalog because I don't think he would appreciate me creating new catalogs on his website. And here, once you've created the catalog, then any catalog that you've created will show in the list here. And once it's uploaded, all you have to do to add hotspot is just select the page that you want to select. And for example, here, if I wanted to add a hotspot around those items here, all I need to do is just click anywhere on the page and then just pick my area that I want to hotspot. I have an option, if I don't have a picture of that item, I have an option to let this program create the picture. So if I click on the product image, it actually would grab whatever is in this box and create the image. And then here you would just start typing a number, and as soon as you do that, it would actually create the hotspot for that item. So now I've got a hotspot for this item. So if I sync my catalog to the iPad, when I click on this item, it will actually bring in item AC01. Again, because everything is hosted on the computer, on the same cloud computer, this is actually looking into a local database, and as soon as I type any letter, it'll just filter out what I need. So it really makes the process completely foolproof and very, very simple so that any junior designer or anybody can do. So I'm just going to delete this hotspot because I don't want to leave it there. But on the page, just to illustrate it. So this page is full of hotspots. You can see products has been hotspotted, and just by highlighting it, basically, it creates similar to Facebook. It just highlights an area and remembers what's in that area, so that when you go and scan the item, that's what's going to come up, or when you touch it in the catalog. We have captured the image directly when we create the catalog, or we can have better images uploaded. It's completely up to the customer what they want to do. So it's easier if you have images in the catalog and you can just grab them, but you have the option to have better images if you wanted to illustrate. There is also a desktop tool. I'm not going to go into it because it's very technical, but it's very simple to use as well. The desktop tool is only required if we need to integrate with an accounting package. So the desktop tool's role is to be the bridge between the accounting package and the cloud computer. If you're not using the desktop tool, if you're not using an integration, you can do everything directly from the web-based interface here to upload all your products. It's just a matter of formatting a few Excel files and a few image files. And once you've done that, we can have somebody up and running less than an hour. If they have their data fairly well organized, we can have a customer from start to finish. In a few hours, we'll upload their catalogs, we'll upload their data. The only thing that's a little bit time consuming is having to page and put the area. We offer this service and we charge peanuts because it's actually a very simple process. So we offer that, and we have people that can do it very fast, but very few of our customers are taking us up on it because once they realize how easy it is to do, they do it all themselves. So at this time, this is really all I wanted to illustrate today. I just wanted to have a brief overview of the PRiSM interface. In terms of pricing, we have different plans, but just to give you a rough idea of pricing, it's on a per user, per office basis, and then there is option whether they're going to be using the website or depending on the number of users. But on average, is about $30 per month per user is what it usually boils down to. And then there is a fee for the head office depending on the features that they have, but At most, it would be maybe $100. So for example, a 5-user system would run anywhere between $200, $250 a month. The installation is very reasonable. Sometimes it's free depending on the amount of work that we do. The most we ever charge for installation is $1,500 to $2,500. Is there any questions?
Looks very good, Albert.
Thank you. Okay, so if there's no question at this time, I'm going to terminate the meeting. Thank you all for your attendance. If you have any customers that are interested, or if you know anybody that's interested in doing a specific online demo, just put us in contact. We'll do the process with you. What we do a lot for customers is we actually create a demo instance. So if they give us a PDF catalog and a few of the sample files of their products, we'll actually upload it for you so they can download it on their own iPad. Gives them a better idea of how it would look. And anybody who's interested, we'll give them a 30-day free to try on their iPad with no obligations. And our contract, I mean, it's a 12-month agreement, but it's cancelable at any time. And we've never had a customer cancel. Anybody who starts using the app is with us for the last 3 years. People have been using it. We've never had one customer cancel, because once they realize the power of it, how much how it increases their order and how easy it is for them to process everything, it makes it worthwhile for them to keep.
Is that particular version of the iPad that they would need?
Any iPad will work, just not the iPad 1. The first generation of iPad, because it requires iOS 6, and the first generation of iPad does not support iOS 6, we require any newer version. And by the way, we also have the exact same application on an iPhone. And on the iPhone, the only difference, all the functionality is identical, all the tools are identical. The only difference on the iPhone is we don't have the catalogs. Because of the size of the screen, we decided not to bring them in. But you can use a barcode scanner, you can use a product, you can do orders. So we do have customers, if they don't have image-intense content, that will just use the iPhone. For example, somebody who'd go to the LCBO and just replenish wine bottles on the shelf, they just need to be able to go in and scan what's missing and as quickly as possible create orders. So that type of industry, they just use the iPhone app, and that's plenty. And the iPhone app is a little bit cheaper than the iPad. The other reason we have the iPhone app is that at a trade show, if you have 4 or 5 reps that have the iPad app, and they can use it. But if you wanted to have a few more people place orders just at a trade show using a barcode scanner, then they would be able to use their own iPhone and just add a few temporary licenses. So we do support time-specific licenses where somebody can just add a few licenses here and there based on their requirements. The other thing I just wanted to mention before I complete the meeting is we'll have another webinar 2 weeks from now, and the webinar, the other app that we have is the Basis program, which is an inventory program, which we've also ported on iPhone and iPads. And so the next webinar will focus more on the inventory side. So I just wanted to mention it. I'll send everybody an invitation again, and I would welcome you to join it as well. And the other thing, just in finishing, for the iPad app, we also have the PRiSM program is also being developed for Windows 8, and we're about 2 weeks away from launching it to the Windows Store for the first time. So it will be available for people that want to just use it on a laptop or on a Windows 8 tablet. It will be available very soon as well.
Interesting. Okay, that's great, Albert.
Thanks, Albert.
Thank you, guys.
I'm here.
I know.
Is everybody done? No, Andrew here.
Yeah.
I'll call you. Bye.
Okay.